Story number 5. How important is the next election? Folks, this next election is pretty big because you've got I think the Republicans have got the Democrats back against the wall because the Democrats have been catering to special interest groups. They've kind of forgotten their normal operation, and that was helping out the working man. And a lot of people are saying that these new Democrats that we see are not the same Democrats from the back of the day, and it's kind of given the Republican Party the advantage because they are going after the African American vote by telling the African American voters that, hey, you keep voting for these people. Look at your communities, look at your school systems, and they're even they have a president in office who is not afraid to put up a fight, to swing, and to not only that, but be accused. But no matter what this man does, he seemed to be finding a way to get back to his base, and they keep supporting him. So this election is pretty critical. You've got somebody who is whether you look at foreign relations, you look at his stance globally, his foreign policy, his trade policies. This is what's all at stake. The price of your food may not be the same next week, next year, possibly. You could even look at some of the things that go on in your neighborhood, the way your neighbors may be looking at you, the way people are talking, what they're talking about, the fights, and this all centers around the next election, and that's why it's there. When you look at they're talking about how hacking a voting machine is getting easier, according to some reports. Microsoft says Iranian hackers targeted presidential candidates' campaigns. They say that they're trying to figure out if they got a hold of Trump's campaign. Putin even joked about in a report about interfering in the 2020 elections. So they found a way to trigger, to find a way to mess with the controls, and that's what's at stake. And that's why story number 5 is at number 5, because this story is just the base of why this country may be off center. And when you look at this story, it has the potential. 45% to 38% of Americans support impeaching President Trump over Ukraine allegations. You look at all your politicians, Biden, Hillary, from the Bushes to now Trump, you see how they've found a way to get their kids employed, get their kids good jobs. There's a lot of struggling people not eating, not having a good job, and they're probably thinking about why they're giving these political candidates their money. So this story has all the ingredients to start a fight, start a war, start a battle at the dinner table. It may leave some people with less teeth, because when you look at story number 5, is how important is this next election? There are some people looking at you, and they're watching you, and they're taking score. And they're figuring out what you're doing in your spare time, if you're at the club, if you're not on the job, if you're showing up to work late. There's some people who want that job, folks. And like I said, I've served my time, but I'm looking at this story, and I'm looking at it for what it is, and it has some facts to it. And there are people who are wondering, even about NFL players, about their paychecks, how they're getting paid, why they can't feed their children. Big places, big plants like GM closing. Those workers wondering where their political vote is, why they making profits and not sharing them. People who are less fortunate. This is a big thing in America, and this is why the next election will probably straighten some people out and get some people to the polls. I think this has been the most, usually the presidential elections are the most active. They're probably more active than local elections. Biden is spending $6 million from what I hear to blanket early voters in some states with TV and digital ads. Elizabeth Warren believes that a tax on lobbying would help fight corruption. These are just some of the things that these candidates are talking about. Lobbyists, corporations, taxing the rich, free Medicare, Medicare for all. When you look at these stories and you see the Republicans play it safe, they're not. They're trying to be. They're using a hardcore reality tactics, and we constantly see them saying that the Democrats are coming up, showing up to the party with cotton candy. But some people are independents are looking back and they're seeing each party for what they really are. But some people are just looking back and saying they're watching everybody drinking the Kool-Aid and they're not. They don't think they're going to get a glass themselves. But I'm not, right now you have no choice when you vote. You can either stay out of the mix, let everything stay the way it is, not call your congressman, not be active in your community, or you can be enlightened and see how the system really works. Find a candidate for you. Iran convicts 4 people of spying for U.S. and the U.K. Peru in turmoil after President Vizcarra dissolves Congress. Then you have Zuckerberg says if Warren becomes president, Facebook would sue the U.S. government. Elections happen in the majority of the democracies across the world. Monarchs find a way to keep their regimes alive. So you look at these stories, and our political candidates here in the U.S. have to be related to these. In relationships with these people. They have to go out and find ways to trade peacefully. So that's why story number 5 is there. Many outside groups believe that there will be cheating in the next election. And according to Vanity Fair, Trump threatens civil war if he's impeached. Do you believe this, folks? Look at what we've come to. Like I said, elections have always been brutal, but we've come to cheating. We've come to cursing in the White House. It's fine. People do these things, but on a global scale, some countries practice integrity and they look at the morality of people when they do business with them. And this is why the next election may be very, very important. It may be important that you figure out what is actually going on around you and why it keeps happening. And that's why story number 5 is an important story. I see it big here until the election season is over, because this is important. Your children are watching these people, and some little child may think that what these candidates or these people do is normal behavior, and you may see it affecting students, people who are working in college. They may not feel as worthy to graduate. Some people may not want to give it a try, may not want to even be a politician because of what they see happening. And this is the real deal. This is old school versus new school, hard knocks versus soft knocks. This is a real story, and that's why story number 5 crept its way into the top 8. If you don't believe what's happening, turn on your radios, turn on your TVs, listen to the conversations at your gyms, listen to the conversation where you're hanging out. This is a big topic, and everybody's talking about who they want in office. And these topics right here could create fights. It could create death, because people want people to be informed, and people want people to be enlightened. We're watching police officers get prison time. So and then we wonder why witnesses get killed, and this, or why people who vote for people get shot, killed. Folks, this is a real deal story, and if people voted that you couldn't vote, or that you couldn't drink certain soft drinks, or couldn't eat certain meals this is why story number 5 may get your attention, and why the next election will be important. You're in the Mediator with me, Brian Westward. It's my duty every week to give you the top 8 headlines developing news stories. If you want to be a contributor or help out anyway, I'm not trying to scare you. I just have to keep you informed, let you know this is serious business. I have to practice what I preach all the time. I read these books. I get a little scared sometimes, but I have to be brave and stand up to the plate and figure out how best to live my life. I have to watch my finances just like everybody else. I have to feed myself, feed my family and friends. So this is why story number 5 crept its way in. But if you want to be a contributor and help me out in any way, If you think I'm doing well, or you think that I'm helping you out, helping you increase your productivity, then help me out. All you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, read something, or just sponsor a program. Every little bit counts. Now, I have to remind you that I'm just a mediator. I stay in the middle, navigating the news just for you. So, but the news journalists, the people on the front lines, they deserve most of the credit, because these are the people who are doing the hardcore checks, hardcore research. I just find the stories and do the research for you, so you could be informed and know what's actually happening. Finding the top 8 headlines, developing news stories that made it to the top 8. So if you want to be a contributor, help out anyway, help out the cause, or see what stories that almost made it in, or see the stories that did make it in or did make it in, then all you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, read something, or just sponsor a program. Every little bit counts.
If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.